Hello my beautiful Aquarians, welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your singles love reading for December 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for your wonderful likes, shares and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using guide chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. So let us start your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Aquarians, this is your singles love reading. I'm going to get your overarching energy first and then follow it with a Celtic cross just to see who's coming in towards you. Also, you may notice I'm in a different environment at this moment in time. I've gone to visit family members for a couple of weeks, but I will be back in my usual space after that. I just thought I'd let you know why there is a change of scenery there. But let's get straight to your cards. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Aquarians? What do they need to know right now regarding their love life, the position that they're in at this moment in time, the energy they're moving through and what lies on the other side? Can you please highlight them, the journey to love, and display what is coming towards them at this time? So the first card there is your protagonist energy, and we have the card of imprisonment. So a lot of you are feeling really stuck in a rut right now, stuck in your circumstances. You may be trapped in an energy of feeling like there's no one out there, nobody sparking that attention, nobody having that chemistry. You feel a little bit bereft, that you've tried everything you can to put yourself in a position to meet love, but it's left you in the same position. You feel locked into this cycle of repeat. And of course, some of you may have responsibilities or duties that you are kind of adhering to at this moment in time. And it's really hard to come out of that energy until you have everything completed. So you may just feel locked into a cycle. But the imprisonment card is your protagonist energy. Now this indicates, of course, that you feel like there's no opportunity for you to either get out there or to meet anybody at this moment in time. There's a bit of a disappointment. You feel kind of discouraged, maybe even locked yourself away from the dating scene for a while, and now you feel kind of like trapped in this repetitive energy where there's just no one out there worth unlocking that padlock for. And you may feel a little bit disappointed and feel there's a deficiency on the dating scene right now. There is a longing. I mean, if you look at that card, this can indicate, of course, there's a little rat there in the corner. Now, I love all animals. Every animal is on this planet for an absolute reason, of course. And rats, I feel, sometimes get a little bit of a bad rap. But, you know, it is symbolic of perhaps having a trust issue. And some of you may be trapped in a narrative where you were let down in the past, disappointed in love. Perhaps you were brokenhearted, or, you know, you were in a toxic relationship, and you may feel that that's been on your mind and almost prevented you from moving forward, especially if you have a trust issue that you're trying to heal right now. It can feel like, you know, someone did you dirty, basically, and you feel locked in that. And you may also feel with that pain or that experience you had that a little piece of you was left with that person. But I want you to be aware that you are whole all by yourself and that you've been healing that part of you that has been shattered into tiny little pieces, but you're putting yourself back together differently because it's time. There's a new chapter here. But it is number 29, okay? And when you reduce that, of course, that is 11. So that means that you're on a soul mission path. 11 is the justice energy. I want you to be aware of that. And it can indicate cause and effect. You know, the justice card indicates that you are going to do something that puts you in a position to open up a whole new world of opportunity when it comes to the dating scene, okay? But it requires your action in some way. But if you feel that you are bound by responsibility, or you just feel trapped in your circumstances, and I have to be like really honest with the cards I've got coming out here, we do have thoughts, okay? And this is in the resistance position. So some of you may think back to a time where, you know, you really idolize a person, you're in love with a person, and maybe you were even their muse. You know, there's a lot of passionate energy there, but it's in the resistance position. It's number 16 as well, which is the Tower card energy. So it can indicate that you've been shocked in love in the past, or you were in a cycle of repeat with a very destructive relationship in the past. It broke down, shocked you, really shook your foundations, and you've been healing. So you removed yourself quick sharp from the dating scene, and it has impeded your progress in trusting love going forward. Now, of course, that's not going to resonate with all of you, but that is something that's coming up there. For some of you, if you have not been in a high-level commitment in the past, this can indicate that you feel that no one really sees you, that, you know, people don't get you, or, you know, you feel that somehow you may have been locked away doing your duties, your work. You invested all your time and your energy elsewhere, and now you're just feeling a little bit bereft that, you know, there is a deficiency on the dating scene there. And it's unfair because, of course, it is the Justice card energy. But there is good karma here because it means that you are about to have a new cycle coming through. And also, I am being given this other energy that's coming through, and this again may not resonate with all of you, but for some of you, you may have been connected to a person who has actually been incarcerated, and you feel really stuck in a rut there because, of course, you have feelings for this person, but, you know, it's almost like your life or your feelings have been put on hold in order to either wait for this person. You think about this person a lot, but, you know, you are in your prime and you're trying to work out whether you should stay, whether you should go, whether you should have that conversation with that person. Of course, that's your prerogative as to what you do next, but we do have the gift card there. You are a gift and you have a lot to offer when it comes to the dating world. And of course, you know, number 17 on that card. Also, we've got the House energy. So this can indicate if you are dealing with someone who is actually incarcerated at this time. Yes, they think about you a lot, of course, and I feel with that House energy, there is going to be visitation, of course, and the gift can indicate that both of you being really present with each other. You'll have a very interesting conversation about how much you care about each other and how you move forward in the relationship. So, you know, there may be some change going on in that particular relationship in the next coming weeks regarding the next steps on the relationship. So there could be some like news, for example, where, and again, this is not going to resonate with everyone, and this rarely comes through on my readings, but I have to honor something when it comes through. You know, we're going from imprisonment energy to House energy, so there could be some change in status regarding a person and your connection with that person. So with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to move away from the energy, but I do see that both of you think the world of each other and see that each other are the gift. And, you know, I feel like with that fire energy, the flames, the hearth, it's remained burning, as it were, for each other, but it's up to you whether you want to rekindle this and continue this, but it can be healed going forward, okay? And I just want to acknowledge that. So with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to remove myself from that energy because, of course, not everybody has that energy coming through or experiencing that. This symbolically basically means that you're just feeling really stuck and you just feel like you keep meeting people who are transient or people who are not invested in a long-term relationship. You want something long-term. You want security in some way when it comes to a relationship. And of course, no relationship is guaranteed ever. We got to take a risk on love and hope that the person is going to be careful with our heart. We have to trust our intuition. And of course, looking at this energy, your outcome energy, there's definitely an energy here, my beautiful Aquarians, of you meeting a person where you have the potential to settle down with this person, okay? So that's your overarching energy, but I have to give it to you straight. There is someone here who thinks about you all the time. This is a person, perhaps is someone on your mind from time to time as well. This could be an ex, okay? This is someone who's very creative, very on the spur of the moment, a little bit reckless sometimes. You know, they don't think about tomorrow. They're too busy living in today. And actually that's quite, you know, a great energy to be in, but not when you're looking for something that is long-term. You can be with a long-term partner and really invest in a relationship for the long term and think about the future together, but still be very spontaneous and live in the moment, right? But the energy I'm picking up from this card, because it is in the resistance position, it indicates someone who is not emotionally available, someone who thinks about you a lot, very attracted to you, but they are emotionally unavailable, and they are someone who, well, they're definitely going to come through at some point and message you, is what I'm seeing there. And this person's going to talk about a photo that they've seen of you, okay, that set them thinking how good you were together. Now, everybody has the ability to change, okay, that's just fact. But they have to want to change for themselves, as well as, you know, to kind of like transform their vibration and really step up. Actions speak louder than words. I feel a lot of you are going to get a message from an ex, and they're going to be talking about a photograph that they've seen of you. So either it's something that they are like checking out your social media and they catch a photo of you out there having fun or doing something, or it can be that they have an old photograph that has triggered a memory, but there's going to be a conversation here about memories and a photograph, okay? And I feel this person, I mean, they do want another chance. They do want another opportunity, because we have number 20, which is judgment energy. That is a reconciliation energy, house energy there, okay? It can indicate family lineage. It can indicate a secret that was perhaps present in the family that will be revealed. So this person could actually tell you about the reason why they abruptly left or they couldn't make it work. There's something that they've been working on within themselves that has highlighted some sort of generational wounding or cycle of repeat that they have tried to cut out or stop, okay? And I would say this person, looking at the energy, they still have feelings for you is what is clear here, but with the house energy, I'm getting a very strong kind of still resistance. You know, they're not completely open there. I feel like they're still a bit guarded. They're protecting something that went down, or protecting or guarding some sort of information that perhaps you need to have. So it could be that they, you know, are locked into something else right now, or they cannot commit right now, but they still want to reach out to you. So just be a little bit mindful, protect your beautiful heart, my beautiful Aquarians, if an ex reaches out to you, because it's in your energy right now, okay? Now, for the rest of you, I really feel a lot of you are thinking creatively. You know, thoughts can indicate with that number 16, which is, of course, the Tower energy, that you're trying to have lots of different thoughts of how to get out of a cycle repeat, to break free, you know, because I always say that the Tower is like a prison, okay? You get comfortable in the confines of some sort of routine. We all do it from time to time. We get into that repetitive cycle. It feels comfortable. And then you start to feel frustrated because you want something new, or you want to make different choices, or you just feel like nothing's ever going to change if you don't change. So I feel, you know, with this imprisonment card, it really is indicative of the Tower energy, where you're just feeling like locked into something that you feel either holds you back in some way, or you just feel like you've never got enough time, you're exhausted, you're fed up with the dating scene. This could even be a thought within your mind that you're like, you know what, I want to meet someone, but it's hard, or there's no one out there, or maybe I should give it one more chance, or what dating scene, there's never anybody out there sparking attention. The good ones are always taken, sort of energy. That's what's coming through here. And, you know, because we have the thoughts card, this could be you brainstorming ways of getting out of the funk, to really like liberate yourself, jump out of that tower, because there's always two people who take a leap of faith out of the tower, because it's better to take a leap of faith and do something wildly different than to stay where you're at and feel like, you know, you're just going to live the same day, Groundhog Day, every time when it comes to your dating life. Okay, so I feel a lot of you are trying to brainstorm new creative ideas to get yourself out of that tower energy. Okay, and a lot of you, this could be something that is very artistic in nature. Thanks so much, Neutral Grateful. My guides just said something you can put your name to. Like, I don't know what that means for you, so please apply it to your situation. I mean, if you're in a career, it could be something regarding your reputation. Maybe you're writing a book, or maybe it's a painting you're literally signing. I'm not really sure. Something you can put your name to. Okay, maybe that's a clue for you specifically. I'm not sure. I like to work things out as much as you do when it comes to some, you know, odd messages that come through for my guides. I just give you what I hear, what I see in the water, and of course what I feel and what the cards mean. But your outcome energy is number 20, which, as I said, is the judgment energy. And because we got the house there, this can indicate that you want to do something outside the house. I mean, this can indicate, of course, gifting season, but the star energy is like putting a spotlight, allowing yourself to be seen. I mean, for some of you, you're literally going to be gifted something during this season that actually puts you on some sort of course or on some sort of event or out and about doing something exciting. So it could actually come through a gift, and you attend something that is like a token or a gift voucher or a booking for something. And you could go with people or on your own, I'm not really sure. And this could be a place where you actually meet the love of your life. But I feel a lot of you have been going through a period where you are dissecting your life. You've been going through a bit of awakening. I feel like you are rebirthing, almost revamping, and feeling like it's time to allow yourself to be seen, to get yourself out there and try again, to renew your energy. You're having a lot of like revelations about who you are, what you want in love. And remember, the judgment card can be restart as well as a closure. So it can be that you're closing one chapter of your life in order to, you know, open yourself up to the next part. And for some of you, that house energy is you could be like on online chat forums or on dating apps or, you know, websites and things like that. So don't dismiss it. Let's get to the Celtic cross and see what is going on there for you. But the gift card indicates that you will be gifted the opportunity to fall in love. It's number 17, which is the wish energy with that star. And the gift indicates that one of the lessons that you were meant to learn in your solitary energy, and this is why you may have repeated a cycle or gone round and round and met similar experiences in different people, it's that you had to value yourself and realize that you bring a lot to the table of love. I mean, you don't have to, you just naturally do, because you're awesome, you're kind, you're loving, you have a lot of charisma, you're fun to be with, you're supportive, you're nurturing, you're all of those things. And also, you know, you think outside the box. You're unique, you're very different, and you need to honor that authenticity within yourself and love it a little bit more, because there's literally someone out there who is looking for that unique spontaneity within you. Okay, so I'm just going to go and get this Celtic cross for you just to see a little bit more of the journey. But I do see that you're going to meet a person that you feel is home, but you had to find that home within yourself first. Okay, you will literally settle down with a person. I feel like they will join your family lineage if you want them to, of course. There's a lot of like paintings and references here to artwork as well in the cards. So either this person dabbles in art or is an artist, or maybe you are. Doesn't have to be. I mean, it could be portraiture as well. But I actually feel there's this energy of someone coming from a family with very rich history. Now, of course, every family has rich history, of course. So I feel that this is a sort of person who perhaps within their family unit had a lot of maybe portraiture art done, because my guides are giving me that it is specific. There is something there about art. Okay, so I mean, it could be that this person has done a lot of portraits for their family. I'm not sure, but I'm just being given this energy of, okay, thanks so much, I'm truly grateful. I would never explain someone's family like this, but my guides just gave this to me. They're well-to-do. Okay, so that was a very mature way of putting it. Let's put it that way. Generational kind of. My grandparents might say something like they're well-to-do. I'm not sure, but that's what came through there. So anyway, let's get on with the cards. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Great Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Aquarians? What else do they need to know regarding their love life at this time? Can you please show them the way? So your first card there is the Princess of Wands. The Princess of Wands is the equivalent of the Page of Wands. So that is to be curious, to be more spontaneous. It is to be adventurous. Also, it indicates you meeting a new person who will become a loyal mate. It is your foundation card, so it highlights you're looking for commitment at this time. We do have that Hermit energy. Yes, that's you being a little bit more of a homebody recently, and you've been called to be on pause on purpose, to focus on your true life's calling and mission, to sort through some really sensitive emotions within yourself, to look at your shadow self as well. Now, because the moon has shown up in this reading, and we have the imprisonment card there as well, this can indicate that some of you have been deceived in the past or been betrayed. And it's like there is this energy coming through, and again, it may not resonate with all of you, but I have to honor it coming through. It's like, how can you be with someone and pledge forever and then it just all falls apart? It's like, was it love, or is it something that wasn't real? Was it a falsehood? Is love even real, or is it something that's temporary? There's a lot of questioning going on here with the vibration in this particular reading. So perhaps you're doing a lot of very cerebral kind of musings to really work out like this business called love, because a lot of you may have been really hurt. The star energy is healing. Thank you so much. I'm truly grateful. My guides are very active in your particular reading, which is not typical. They're coming in from time to time in the readings, but in this particular one, they're very vocal. So I was saying that the star is all about healing, but they said, and peacocking, and of course there is a peacock there. So this is about like believing in your beauty and your attractiveness and knowing that you are enough, that you are lovable, and that you should be seen. Let the star out of the lantern kind of energy, okay? Because the Hermit there is like the star is in the lantern. This is a card that, you know, I would potentially link it to like a rainy day where you just want to stay inside in your comfies, your oversized kind of sweater, and be like, you know what, I'm just gonna like stay away from people today. It's one of those days where you just want to be inside and feel cozy and comfy and just do a lot of thinking about life and submerge yourself in new knowledge like books and old movies, okay? And that star right after is kind of like set yourself free, get yourself out there. Maybe it's party season, or maybe it's a time where you can get really sparkly in some way. Now, I'm going to have to really blur out the star energy. I just realized it's a little bit of a risque card for YouTube, and I've showed it to you a couple of times, and I don't really tend to look too closely at the cards until I'm actually reading them, because I read the energy, but I got to go back and blur out those little risque parts, okay, because otherwise YouTube, they won't allow it. So thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Great Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Aquarians? What else do they need to know regarding their love life at this time? We have the Ace of Swords. You're going to be talking to someone new. I see a lot of you with that Two of Wands on the earthly plane position. You've been waiting for some time, okay? I feel a lot of you have been like watching the world go by, almost like looking at other couples like, how is it they found their person? And you know, when is it my turn? A lot of you have been feeling frustrated in delays. You had an expectation, a yearning, you know, and I feel that you were called to do a lot of spiritual development and growth. With the Sun energy, I feel some of you also may have, I'm just getting with the Sun energy, and I'm not like qualified medically to talk about this, but some of you may have gone through depression, because we do have the Moon energy, the Sun, and we have the Hermit there as well. And I feel a lot of you are just trying to reconcile some deep feelings within yourself before you really decide to share your life with another. So I feel like you've been kind of learning more about yourself. And oh wow, your outcome is the Nine of Cups. So that's your wish fulfilled. As I said right at the beginning, I feel like you're going to get a wish. You have number 17, which is showing up in your reading quite a lot here. And it highlights that the sort of person you desire to be with, you're calling them in. And I feel like whatever it is you wish for with that Four of Pentacles, that is like longevity. That is, you know, a long-term situation, a relationship that is secure. And I feel a lot of you, this is you coming out of your comfort zone or going to like new places that yield better results. Okay, so let's get to your first card. This Princess of Wands is the card of adventure, of being explorative, of setting yourself like a task or an exciting thing that is going to make you really enthusiastic. Pages, because this is the equivalent of a page energy. This is your primal power, but there could be some sort of invitation, news, or as I say, it's like not an invitation, it's like a gift given. Yeah, so I'm getting two things really. So a lot of you could actually be gifting this to yourself, okay? But I feel there's this energy of you being given something, given an opportunity to go to a place that's very creative. Wands are always very creative card energy. So I feel this is about you igniting your passions, but also your libido. It's like you're ready. You want to meet someone, but you felt a little bit like stuck in a rut because the options have been slim pickings, right? So I feel this is about you setting your soul on fire, getting excited about something. And because pages are offering news or offering something, it tends to mean that you could be offered something. Because you have the gifting card there, it could be something that someone gifts you, okay? But if you're gifting to yourself, you know, that would be a great opportunity for you to go and do something creative. This is a card of spontaneity as well. So this could be something that happens on a whim, or someone says, you know what, I was just walking down the sidewalk and I saw this thing and I thought you would love this, so I just booked it. You know, it can be one of those energies there. But I feel this is about you being a little bit more playful, being a little bit more curious about who is out there. You want to meet someone new, you have a lot of vitality, and I feel there is an energy of you kind of getting excited to be a little bit more active when it comes to your dating life, being proactive to put yourself in a position to kind of like get out there. I mean, this is a card where you're going to be noticed. I mean, you naturally get noticed, but you want to be noticed by the right person, of course, and this can indicate that now is the time to allow yourself to be seen. So you can see these two primal power tigers right there, kind of like, you know, circling each other. So it can be that you're about to meet a person, or you're in a vibration right now where you will attract a person who is very curious about you, and there's a lot of physical attraction, but I feel like it will turn into more, okay? Now we do have the Sun energy, and the Sun, of course, is the most positive card in the deck. It's a crossing energy, so it can indicate that a lot of you, and I think I mentioned this right at the beginning of your reading, some of you may feel like you just are not seen in all your glory, not understood, because the Sun in a crossing position means you read the reverse as well as the upright there. So a lot of you may be feeling that, you know, you want to get yourself out there. Perhaps you have tried many times to get yourself out on the dating scene, but you just feel like you go unnoticed, or, you know, there's just no one who has that spark. And I feel one of your lessons was to kind of recognize that your happiness is not tied up within another person. You are here to learn about your own happiness, but also to recognize that you are radiant, that you are someone who naturally has a lot of gravitas. And you may have, because you have the Moon and the Sun energy, you may have experienced a lot of people in your past, if you've dated people who felt really eclipsed by your presence, that you outshone them. Now that's not your fault. You're just being your authentic self, but they may have felt, you know, of course, triggered by your, you know, inner light there, but that just meant that they were not as evolved on their journey. They hadn't done the work to work through their fears, their insecurities, and it was also a measure that these people were there to teach you a lesson about your greatness and not to dull your shine for other people. You know, always shine your light as brightly as possible, because it actually gives other people the permission to shine as well, okay? But that Sun energy is in the crossing position. You've been going through an awakening, a period of personal development and growth, and I feel that you've been working through some very sensitive subjects, topics, experiences, and feelings within yourself. And I feel that a lot of you may have withdrawn from the dating scene in order to do that, because the Two of Wands is an energy of kind of like mapping your progress in life as well, that, you know, you've had options, you've had experiences, but the Two of Wands is like a time to wait. So it can be that you're usually waiting for someone better to come along. So you're not going to settle, as it were. And that wand in the background represents an experience that you've had that you're leaving behind you. So I definitely see an X energy. There's closure here. And for some of you, it can be that you're just leaving your single life behind. You've been doing a lot of personal development and growth. And a lot of people ask, like, how long do I have to keep doing this personal development and growth? Well, number one, we're all the student of life, and we never stop learning. In fact, being curious every single day is probably one of the secrets to the universe. But I would say when you get to a certain period in your personal healing journey, when you get to that pinnacle point, you feel a little bit frustrated, like something needs to change, okay? You've been doing this for a long time, and now you feel like you have a desire to be a little bit more spontaneous, get out there, see new places, new faces. That's when you know that you're ready, okay? And I feel, looking at this energy, you're ready, okay? Because the moon energy, it's very much in your past position. So this can tell me that if you have been deceived in the past, or someone was very wishy-washy in your previous experiences, someone is very indecisive, they were coming in strong, then suddenly they withdrew. You know, I feel like you're leaving those experiences in your past so that you do not experience these again, okay? So I just want you to be aware of that. Also, just to let you know, the neighbor is doing a little bit of DIY, so if you heard a little bit of strange noise there, they're just doing some bits. I hope it doesn't impede on your listening experience. But the moon, whatever experience you've had in your past, it may have thrown up some really serious questions about your path when it comes to love, because you're someone who is super independent, okay? And you may have had an experience in your past that made you think, you know what, I'm just going to be by myself. It's just easier, okay? So you're trying to romance your life a little bit more, because there's a dog and a wolf on this card. The wolf is all about independence, freedom to roam, go off and do your thing, then come back to your soul tribe and report back, as it were. But the dog is a little bit more about companionship, loyalty, and someone, you know, literally by your side, ride or die, okay? So it can be that, of course, you want a loyal, long-term relationship, but also the wolf energy is there, which is you having an experience and going, you know what, do I want to be back in a relationship? Do I want to wait? You're trying to work things out within yourself. And of course, you're trying to be a little bit more independent in your life as well. But you want the great romance. You know, the moon is all about romance. And I would say here that for a lot of you, I would say there is someone here who has secret feelings for you. A lot of you, it is an ex. They still yearn for you. But looking at your energy, I feel like you're so done. You're not holding on to that anymore. I feel like you've let that go, or you're trying to work through that. Of course, if you want to return to a person, the star is there. Healing can occur, but actions speak louder than words. So always, you know, watch actions and make sure they co-align there. But the moon can be worry. It can be fear. It can feel like confusion. Like, how is it you're single right now? How is it, you know, it got to this point where you feel a little bit lost in the dating scene, like you're drifting? But it's because you're meant to meet this person. You know, that Ace of Swords is divine intervention. It basically means you're going to be talking to someone new, you're about to have a breakthrough, but you were meant to meet someone special, and the universe laid this person out for you. So therefore, there can be like a pause button that is pressed on your life, your dating scene for a little while. You're getting busy doing other things, you're calling, you know, connecting to exciting opportunities, being with your family, your soul tribe, doing all the stuff, right? But I feel like you've been put on hold in order to get your head straight and your heart straight and really give back to yourself and recognize that you are a gift. But this card is all about destiny and fate intervening to put you in a position to have a breakthrough. And swords are all about the mind, of course. So there's a mind reset here, but also swords are about communication. I would say, number one, you're taking accountability and responsibility for your life. There's going to be something coming through that either is gifted to you or you gift to yourself, and you decide to spontaneously go to this, and then suddenly you're talking to someone new. Someone who actually, there is a meeting of minds with this person. We have your next card as the Hermit. Now, the Hermit is an energy of potential. So that means that you've learned a lot about yourself, okay? You've been doing a lot of healing. You've been asking a lot of questions and seeking answers within yourself. And the Hermit removes themselves from society when things get a little bit overwhelming or you feel at odds with your environment. And that's why I said earlier, I feel a lot of you locked yourself off from the dating scene because you just felt like the people who are out there looking for either a quick time or, looking for love, they were just not vibing at the frequency of who you would want to be with, okay? So you remove yourself naturally from environments that you feel it's not for me, okay? And some of you may have even tried like online dating or chat forums or going to certain like dating events, and you may have felt, you know what, it's not for me. But because you have number 20 with that judgment energy right there, some of you may actually retry one of those avenues and be pleasantly surprised, okay? But most important energy I have coming through right now is some sort of event being booked either by you or gifted to you, and this is where you have a strong potential to meet the love of your life. Now you actually have the star energy in the next 6 weeks position, and I would say it's relevant connected to the Hermit. Like if you've been a bit of a homebody, it's time to get yourself out there and shine in all your glory, okay? And you are at your peak right now. You cannot be Aquarius in the past. You've been there, done that. You got the t-shirt. Some of you may have burnt the t-shirt, okay? You will be Aquarius in the future, but right now, the present is literally the gift, and that's why you have that gift card right there. But the star energy is also a wish, an alignment that there is a brighter future to come. And of course, I will blur that card. I forgot again, but let me just put my finger there. Probably too late. I'll have to just go back and blur it all out there. But there's literally a peacock on there that I know you've seen because I've shown you this card now too many times that I'll have to blur it out. But the peacock is there, which means believe in your beauty, believe in your attractiveness. You know, if you think about a beautiful peacock, it will completely display its beautiful peacock feathers, but they're behind and they can't see how beautiful they are, but they still just be their wonderful authentic self, and they just display themselves in all their glory, and they're like, well, this is me. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, the beauty, the attractiveness, you're just amazing. You get a lot of attention, but you don't see it yourself. And maybe that's something that perhaps you've been working within yourself at this time, but you're going to be getting a lot of side eyes. You're going to be getting a lot of attention over the next coming weeks and months. But I would say, what are you wishing for? Remember, you are the one. Someone out there is saying, I want to meet the one. You are the one, my beautiful Aquarians. So I feel it's very important to recognize what you wish for. Really set an intention, really see the sort of person you want to be with, and watch the universe move mountains, literally, for this person to be in your life, okay? Now, we have the advice to yourself in this moment. We got the Queen of Swords. Now, of course, the Queen of Swords is an energy here of you deep in thought about what you want. You're someone who's super independent, okay? This card literally means that you're self-sufficient. You don't need anybody. You want somebody, and those two vibrations are different. Whenever we need something, okay, the energy is different. But when you want someone, then you're a little bit more open with the universal vibrations, and the universe has more room for maneuver, as it were. But get clear on what you want, set an intention. I feel Queen of Swords is open for conversation, and I really feel like you're going to meet somebody, but it often tells me that you've been through some stuff. So no matter who you are, what you've been through has been a challenge. I can see that, and you are someone who is super strong. So you need someone who sees you and witnesses your strength and actually celebrates it rather than shies away from it. So you need someone who's strong enough to walk by your side. And this Queen of Swords energy, oh my gosh, it's really interesting because I'm about to tell you that I can see an image in the water. It's of a fountain is what I'm seeing, and a very ornate fountain there. I mean, it's not the Trevi fountain, okay, but it kind of looks like it. And there's this cherubian figure, and it's definitely like Eros, which is of course all about love, with the bow and arrow is what I'm seeing there. And you may see something like this, or there's going to be a conversation about this when you meet this person. I mean, it could be a place where you actually meet this person. I'm not sure. It's, as I said, it's not the Trevi fountain in Rome, but kind of looks like it. But there's this figure. I don't think on the Trevi fountain there is Eros with the bow and arrow. I can't really remember, to be honest, but I'm only giving you what I can see there. And You know, I know you can't see my eyes and when I'm looking at the card or not, but I didn't really kind of clock the little cherubs at the top there, but they're there. So maybe like subconsciously I may have had a glance and I'm just not like conscious of it, so it may have influenced. But my guides are saying no, 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 look out for. Okay, I just heard look out for and it stopped. So could you come forward a little bit more with Eros? Eros, okay. Look out for Eros. E-R-O-S. Eros, okay. So that's something that has been mentioned by my guides, okay. So I want you to be aware of that. Now, some of you, not all of you, I just got a hit of 6% energy just come through with RSVP. So some of you are literally going to be invited to something, okay. But the majority of you, I feel, will actually book something or have something booked and gifted to you, okay? So that's coming through, but about 6% of you RSVP, there's something coming through, and this is also a strong potential of where you'll meet this person. But this is circumstances outside of yourself, and the Ace of Swords is an energy of divine timing, of intervention, as it were, where you suddenly have a breakthrough and you're going to be talking to someone new. Okay, I feel this person's really honest. They take accountability for their actions. This person, sorry, there's just something coming through here. I want to know what it is. Can you just highlight again? Okay, there's something here about them walking tall, and something about, oh wow, I just don't talk like this, so it's really interesting this is coming through. Something about their gait. I'm guessing that's how they hold themselves. They may have worked on their posture a lot. So this gives you a little signpost as to who you're about to meet. So either they could have had some sort of like therapy on their back, okay, to be very straight, or perhaps that was their upbringing, that they had some sort of like posture lessons. I'm not sure what I'm being given here, but there's going to be conversations about their posture and their gait, how they hold themselves. They're very tall. I think this person is quite tall, judging by the energy that's coming through. I'm going to leave that there because I'm not really sure where my guides are going with this. So yeah, I'll leave that there, okay? There may have been some corrective surgery on the spine as well, perhaps. So that may be a topic of conversation. So these could be like little hints as to who you're about to meet, or perhaps this is something that you may have gone through. I want you to be aware it's something that you would have gone through already, not something to come, okay? I just want to make that clear so that nobody worries about that. But this card indicates a new person, new conversation, new feelings, new thoughts coming on in as well there, and you making a decision. You know, the double-edged sword indicates you're making a decision based on your truth. So a lot of you may actually have a decision to make, and it could coincide with an ex reaching out and you decide to kind of like tell them your truth and cut them loose, cut the cord, as it were, and that you want new. Because looking at this energy, a lot of you want new, okay? But you're going to meet a person where there is a meeting of minds, and there may be maybe a prize connected to this. So this could be a certification, qualification. I'm not really sure. My guides are being very, very vocal. A prize is connected to this. Okay, I'm just going to leave that there as well. Okay, unless they come forward with anything more. We have the Four of Pentacles, and that is in the hope and fear position in your Celtic cross spread there. And this can indicate that, you know, you fear that life is passing you by right now. That's literally the kind of like meaning of this card. Let go, to let your hair down a little bit. A lot of you focusing on finances and security as well, but you may feel like you're in your prime at this moment in time and you just feel like you're not seen. But I want you to be aware you are going to be in the right place at the right time to meet the right person. And I feel a lot of you, this is you coming out of your comfort zone and leaving the familiar to embrace the extraordinary in life, okay? Because this figure is like leaving the city. And I'm not saying you're leaving the city, but I'm saying that perhaps there is some sort of structure that is in place in your life right now that you've held on to for a long time. And now it's time to kind of like let go of it a little bit, or be a little bit more spontaneous within that structure so you can, you know, see new places, meet new faces kind of energy. The hope, of course, is a long-term relationship. I also feel that a fear is that you would hate to meet someone where there's no support in the relationship, that they were kind of like, let me put it this way, that they kind of like try and knock your confidence, okay? Or that they bring a little bit chaos to your foundation that you've been building. So a lot of you are like, you know what? I don't want anyone to just mess with my life because I'm trying to simplify right now and it's really hard. So you want someone who complements your life. So that could be a fear of yours there. Also, thank you so much. I'm so grateful. My guides are giving me, you don't want someone who's like stingy with money, but you want someone who's good with money, okay? Also, you don't want anyone who's got like outdated attitudes. You know, I feel you don't want anyone who's possessive, selfish, closed off. That's coming through there as well. But I'm being given a very strong energy that you're actually going to meet a person also who has some sort of power or influence. Okay, that's very clear, especially when it comes to their family as well. Although their family do not interfere with this person's love life. So that's something to note as well, okay? Now your outcome energy is the Nine of Cups. So it really comes back to what you wish for when it comes to a relationship. Looking at the energy, when you have a second date with this person, they're actually going to bring you a token of their affection to the date that lets you know that in between seeing each other, they've really been thinking about you and they've really been listening to what you've been saying, okay? And that is a measure of how into you they are, okay? But that Nine of Cups tells me that you're going to be truly fulfilled. This is a lot of pleasure. This is like you having fun. This is you meeting someone and having the good life, but also it is a card of sensuality. So it's like you had to focus on your well-being first, find happiness within yourself, and then you make a wish or an intention and you set things in motion to like move forward and open yourself up to meeting new people. And I feel this card highlights you're going to be very happy indeed, but I also get this energy of emotional fulfillment, okay? Which means your dream can come true and you're going to meet a person who kind of like makes you feel like you're on top of the world, that you have everything you need within that relationship, but you had to find that within yourself first. Because of course, you know, you're not searching for your other half, you're whole all by yourself. You need someone who complements your life. And I feel like you're about to attract someone who is exactly that, okay? So I'm just going to go and pull some final cards. I mean, looking at the energy with the star, I feel a lot of you are, you know, getting yourself out there. And I feel that there is going to be a very interesting interaction wherever you meet this person, and it's going to be a flurry of messages, and this person really wants to get to know you. I would say, looking at the cards, there's a lot of positive energy that you're going to meet this person quite soon, okay? I'm not sure if it's within the next 6 weeks. I got to be honest with you there. Normally I can tell, but in this one I can't really tell. But I do see that you get yourself out there in 6 weeks. Well, within the next 6 weeks there, and there's someone that perhaps, you know, you have a really interesting conversation with. And then you just take it from there. Okay, there's something again about thoughts here and that you are beautiful. So perhaps some of you have grappled with, you know, how you feel about yourself at times. I mean, we all go through a moment or several moments sometimes. I mean, you know, sometimes I will wake up in the morning and look in the mirror and go, oh my gosh, I've got the worst carb face ever. So I will be like, oh, you know, but then the next day I go, okay, you know what, that's passable, let's go. And then the next day I'll be like, okay, I'm looking fine today. We all go through moments, okay? So I feel this card, because it says I am beautiful on this card, it highlights that you are at your peak right now. Fall in love with your life. Fall in love with yourself, because you are the gift. You are literally the gift, okay? And there is a person out there who is going to vibe at your frequency and recognize that gift within you. But you have to recognize it within yourself first. We've also got, I can change my thoughts. So a lot of you looking at intrusive thoughts at this time, perhaps healing thoughts that were perhaps influenced from a previous experience. You know, if someone bullied you in the past, or if someone, you know, didn't see your worth in the past, Number one, never let the person who doesn't see your worth be you. There's always going to be someone out there who doesn't resonate with you, or, you know, who perhaps doesn't see the true value in every person they meet. But don't ever abandon yourself to make someone else feel comfortable. And I feel that's a very important message within this, because you're awesome and you deserve to be loved. Looking at the energy, you will be. We also have I am perceptive. So there's another star right there, okay, on that person's cheek. But I feel this is about you, like, working out what it is that you want and changing a perspective perhaps on being a little bit more spontaneous, letting your hair down. I'm not sure. I feel like there's some sort of change going on here where you're breaking out of some sort of structure or cycle of repeat. And there's a beautiful spider's web right there, even a rose. So this is about romancing the little things in your life, recognizing how special you are to be in this time frame right now, living this life. And that the spider web, you know, dream catchers are always modeled on a spider's web, because it's about you capturing your dreams. And I feel like, make this wish and see it like you have it right now. Imagine the sort of person you want to be with. When you have a quiet moment, just stop and like visualize the sort of person you want to be with. I mean, there's rarely a quiet moment these days because we're all so busy. But if you do get a quiet moment, really see the sort of person you want to be with. Imagine going on a date with that person, or imagine going on a vacation. Imagine marrying that person if you want to get married, but see it like you have it right now, because you're telling the universe, this is what I have. And in the future, you actually have it. You're just attaching to that vibration and like lassoing it in, as it were. So just recognize that. I'm just going to go and get a trinket or a wound before we close your reading. Ooh, okay, so we have a ship. It's all about the journey. The ship indicates that someone is about to come on in here for you. That's why I'm quite excited. Earthly plane position, you've got the Two of Wands there. On the Three of Wands, you kind of progress to the next stage, and there's some ships coming in. And I feel it's on those cards. I want you to be aware. The ship normally means to take the journey, especially in a singles love reading. It's to take the journey of life and love with a person, okay? But I feel this is about adjusting your sails in life, maybe even taking love in a new direction, as it were. And some of you are traveling. And if you're traveling, then of course you could also meet a person like that as well. But I feel this is about you embarking on a new adventure in your life in some way, and the byproduct of doing that something for you is that you meet the love of your life. Okay, so I'll leave it there, my beautiful Aquarians. I hope something resonates. Thank you so much, and love and light.